the Gnar, or do you want to take the Gnar GP matchup? Also saying, maybe do you want to fancy a bit of an Irelia? This is a pick that
Yeah.
we've seen from Cabo in the past, and throwing down that gauntlet a little bit to say you can take a couple of picks here. Which one are you going to opt into? And for the time being, Carmine Cup are going to hide that. Reckless taking it very early on. It's not a champion that can punish as easily in the early stages as the Tristana can, but certainly matches the Zeri in that late game damage output.
But the thing is, as well here, Rudu, is that again we're seeing a couple of champions come out in this sort of first rotation for Carmine Corp that they've not really played. We haven't seen Reckless on the Twitch Hill split, and Seiken has only got one game on the Ari, so I feel like they're a bit more concerned with countering Game Ward than picking what's been working for them.
And I think there may be a little bit of hidden scrim knowledge potentially because they
Yeah,
did ban
yeah.
away the Twitch in the first game. So there's that element, I suppose, of Reckless is turbo smurfing on the Twitch in scrims. Maybe we try and take this one away from him. But either way, the AD carry this time is shown by both sides, and we have a difference of solo laners heading into the second phase of draft. And now the teams have to choose: do they want to take away supports, or do they want to pinch the pool of the lane that they've already picked for? I was expecting Game Ward to just take away the Gangplank, take away the Irelia here in this second phase, and give a very good Gnar matchup in that top lane. That's not been the case. They're going to at least leave open one of them, and I think at that case, just leave them both up and give Carmine Corp the choice of either. Nice from KC, though. They do recognize, okay, they've got this Ari in the mid lane. Let's ban away some decent counters. The Lissandra, I think, is the only real one that you want to be permanently taking off the board. But I think Azir is still just a great ban to get off the table.
Oh, absolutely. I think Checolad had a couple of suspect shuffles, but the damage that champion was putting out in the previous game, absolutely ludicrous. And I think Lissandra is a champion that can function in a similar mold in terms of the team fights. You go in, you CC a bunch of people, and then the likes of Melonic and Akabane and Inax can follow up with the rest of the damage. I'm intrigued that we are seeing so many of these picks that were really strong for one side being banned away by themselves. That Renata was exceptional for Camilius in the first game, but Game Ward, I guess they don't want to risk giving it over.
It would appear not, and it would appear that they want their engaged tools of their own. I'm actually quite fond of this one. You've picked a Elise in here. This sort of demands some early game pressure to go their way. Picking the Amumu here, another champion that synergizes quite nicely with that. They are missing a fair amount of magic damage. The Zeri does provide her own fair share, but looking for something heavy out of the mid lane for Checo. I expect it to just be the default to Azir, honestly, if, history, memory serves. Now, Carmine Corp, what do they want in this top lane? Gangplank, Irelia both open, or does Cabo Shard want something a little different?
Yeah, lots of options for the top laner. It obviously has the counter pick as well, and that's kind of where I like to see Cabo Shard on a matchup that he feels like he can really index, he can really use his prowess in terms of that laning phase to generate advantages himself and put the opponent really far behind. The Jace is something that we do not see all that often from all the other top laners in the LFL, but it is a little bit of a Cabo Shard special.
It is, and it's something that has been played into the Gnar previously time and time again. The notion of the Gnar matchup is that, well, whenever you take Gnar into the top lane, you tend to be able to farm safely against all the melees in that top lane. The one way to counter the Gnar by that extension is by having range on him, and the Jace does that tenfold. You've got that accelerated shot blast, which you can deal damage from twice the size of Gnar's engage range, so it's really nothing too scary. And we've seen this kind of time and time again. Normally in the spring, we got to see a lot more of the Jace, but this is Carmine Corp going back to a really tried and true top laner for Cabo Shard. It's not necessarily synergized as well as we may look to see. Things like the Zoe, things like the Zeri or the Ezreal down in the bot lane would pair quite nicely to get a full round poke engage comp, or poke comp, excuse me. But the Jace still here, still provides a good route to success for Carmine Corp through the top lane.
I think that what Carmine Corp have done in this draft is they've secured a lot of lanes for themselves that they're going to be happy playing out. And we know that the likes of Seiken, that the likes of Cabo Shard, and even Reckless to a certain extent when he feels confident going forward, he can make things work very, very efficiently in terms of that laning phase. But we're going to have to see whether Carmine Corp can bounce back in Game 2, or the game will can push us to an earlier than expected match point. We'll find out after this. Let's go. Here we are. Summoner's Rift once again. Carmine Corp facing down a 1-0 Game Ward who have been looking pretty damn good, recapturing past magic in these playoffs.
Look at the minimap. Look at the
Where do we need to look? Where do we need to look?
Look at the minimap, everyone. We're 4v5ing in the bot lane.
Oh no. Oh no. Carmine Corp are going to be spotted here. No, no.
No way!
Again. We were promised action in the hyper early game, and none has come to fruition, Ruby.
Now, in fairness to Game Ward, they were at a numbers disadvantage. They would have been taking that without the mini-gnar. So I respect that they backed away and didn't just completely coin flip the entire level one. Coin flip their entire game potentially on being set behind.
Interesting that you talk about coin flips, Rudy, because something that we saw about 2 minutes into the previous game was 113 have a little bit of an adventure into the mid lane, and it ended up with him in a casket. I'm assuming we don't want to see something similar from the Carmine Corp jungler in this game.
Not this time. I'm expecting a lot of topside control for Carmine Corp. This composition may look different in terms of the champions that they piloted in spring, but overall this is going to function a very similar way. We have Pantera on a fairly strong roaming support. It's not quite the Nautilus or the Amumu that we could have seen, but it also functions quite nicely in a disengaged manner as we get later into the game. More importantly, we have strong lane top lane for Cabo Shard. Seiken has got push in that mid lane with the Ahri. 113, I anticipate, is going to try and make his moves largely toward that top side. Yes, he's starting out in his blue side jungle. Suggests that he's going to be heading to that bot lane for his first pathing. And that could well lead Cabo Shard to be in a little bit of trouble because that has not been reciprocated by Akabane. He's clearing from his bot side up to the top side. It will leave Cabo a bit isolated for that 3.5 minute marker.
And that is quite interesting because Cabo Shard really didn't get a lot of attention from anyone on Carmine Corp in the previous game. We saw a couple of attempts at cheating towards the top half of the map, but they never really resulted into a dive, and it meant that Melonic was able to scale up on the Gwen absolutely fine. Cabo Shard enjoying this matchup for the time being, going in for very aggressive trades up against the Gnar, and I really want to see this guy not just a CS lead, but a couple of kills so he can be that big carry threat that we know is possible.
Okay, and to touch on what we were talking about for our early game jungle pathing, there's a ward placed on the Raptor camp of Akabane. So Cabo Shard has got the timer now. Those Raptors have just gone down. Likelihood is that Akabane is going to be on his red buff. As soon as that red buff goes down, you're expecting to be beelining toward that top side. That is the window that Cabo has to ward before Akabane makes his presence felt.
Yeah, so either drop the ward or try and get this wave shoved under Melonic's tower as soon as you can. Game Ward jungler, though, opting to go for a bit of a full clear, which we don't typically see coming out of the Lee Sin, but it means that Cabo Shard has a little bit more time in the top lane to himself.
Yeah, I think that comes off the communication from Melonic. Okay, Cabo warded at the right time. He's placed a ward in the tri-brush. You're likely not going to be able to find a gank angle here all that easily. Now, if Akabane wanted to get a little bit creative with his pathing, could hop over the Raptor pit, use his ward to do that, and maybe try and force the gank that way, but not going to be the case. He's just walking straight into the lane, and Cabo, weirdly enough, spots it out.
Yeah, it turns out when the enemy Lee Sin just walks at you, you can see them do that. And Akabane was spotted on that wall. Cabo Shard knows that the Lee Sin is here, still has the flash available, and Seiken roaming over from the mid lane, but you need to be scared of the chase down potential that Game Ward have. The charm going wide as Akabane dies forward with a resonating strike. And once again, Carmine Corp are fumbling the bag in the early game. 113 is going to be able to trade back a kill, but with Cabo Shard roaming over, it's only going to be a 1-for-1, maybe a 1-for-2. Though as the smite goes down onto that Skullcrab to buy a little bit more HP, to buy a bit of time. That charm landing from Seiken means that Carmine Corp could secure the skirmish in the early stages, and Melonic is forced to flash away.
I'm so sad for both teams. Cabo Shard should never die there, and Game Ward should win that fight, hands down. There is no way that they're ever supposed to lose that, but it comes off of the back of mid lane priority. Seiken makes the first roam, has the timer to get in. Look at the minimap right now. That's what's crucial. Seiken's already roaming, knowing this fight is going to happen. Cabo tries to cheat down into the river. Akabane very wise with his cooldowns. Flashes to burn Cabo's flash and waits out the charm. He's able to find this first kill. And at this point, this is a Game Ward win. Absolutely unequivocally. 113 is here though, and he just manages to make the difference. And then as soon as he re-engages, this is Conqueror in its purest form. Checolad's still level 4 on the Azir. And at this stage, if you don't have your soldiers, you don't have damage. Seiken nailing the charm from over the wall, using the Fog of War to his advantage. Melonic is able to hop out to safety, but a fumble on both sides. It's Carmine Corp to come out on top. But neither of the teams really should be impressed with that.
Yeah, I will just say, that's sort of like the good with the bad that you get with 113. Seiken was backing, and 113 is going, no, we absolutely win this fight. No, trust me, trust me. And, well, once your jungler's like saying that constantly, maybe it is a little bit harder to trust them. But hey, you got a kill on your Wukong, you got a kill on your Ahri, you're feeling all right.
A little bit of the boy who cried wolf for 113. But ultimately that time, he calls the play, and they're able to successfully execute on it. Really nice stuff by Carmine Corp, collapsing on the fight that they could win, and that now sets them up quite nicely in this early game. Kill onto the Wukong plus an assist. 113 is just taken down that dragon, and I was looking at his health bar, was feeling a little bit skeptical about his success chances. Did use the smite and just about got himself back up. And Melonic on this top side, not going to be able to try and find the dive. You can see Seiken with this Ahri actually doing a very good job.
Yeah, no flash available though, and if Game will confine the chase down, then there is a kill available. The Spirit Rush still there though, and Akabane and Chakalad don't want to push too far into Carmine Corp's jungle.
No, and that's really wise from Seiken, actually knowing the damage capabilities of Game Ward. Recognizes that Checo's just used all of his cooldowns to get in range of the Ahri, and the fact that he's able to buy enough space using the Foxfire means that he can't get out to safety.
And
We'll do some creative pathing in here. Camillus is lurking. It's a little bit scary for both sides, as I don't think either one of them knew that there was a support/jungle in the lane. Now both supports show their faces, and we're going to have this cordial 2v2 to try and push a lane.
Yeah, I think if 113 had access to the Cyclone, absolutely goes in for that play. But with full HP on Chekalad and enough mana to slide and glide out there, not to mention the Flash 2, no real point trying to make that aggressive play onto the Azir. Wish that he'd had that same sort of temperance in game 1. But here we are. Carmine Corp are going to be a lot happier about how this early game has gone. They've had that beneficial early skirmish, and they've secured that first dragon as well. They may even get a kill onto Melonic, who is very low in the top half of this map.
Use the Mega Gnar to shunt Carmine Corp away. Once again, 113 without that Cyclone, just barely lacking the damage to find a kill in the 2 versus 1. We did see Checolad try and opt into a play down in the bot side. Importantly, there was a very nice control ward, which has since been cleared by Camillus, which spotted Checo on his roam down toward that bot side. And with neither of our mid laners presently having teleport, of course, Seiken with that Summoner Spellbook, I think gets a one-time usage. Didn't see if this is a swap to Ignite or if this is the Ignite primary swapping to TP later on. For the time being, using the lack of global initiatives for Carmine Corp to move on to this Rift Herald, had first roam from support. They don't have their ADC roaming up, but I don't think that it's going to matter all that much because they've got this Rift Herald within just enough time. Game War could potentially amount a contest. Level 4s.
Yeah, it would be risky, although they do have a slight numbers advantage. Not going to be there in time, though, as 113 is able to pick that up. And Rude Dude, once again, we've seen the Wukong in this early game secure a dragon, go up to the top side of the map, secure the Rift Herald as well, and generally win out in terms of these early stages. Maybe one of those picks that can develop into a bit of a series meta like we were discussing in the Champion Select. Potential 2v2 on the top half of the map, potential 3v2 actually in favor of Carmine Corp, as Melonic going forward with the Mega Gnar available. Is going to be flashing, is going to be dashing away, keeping himself alive.
Really smart. That's pretty much the only way that he can get out to safety there. Has to stun them both and walk away, and if he doesn't burn the flash, there's a world where Hantera can force the stun. 113 with the auto attack reset as well from the Wukong would have been able to proc those concussive blows. So good recognition from Melonic. That's his way out to safety, and yes, has to burn flash, has to burn ulti to make it happen, but lives all the same. 2v3 in that top side goes even, really favorable for Carmine Corp, counting those summoner spells as Camillus is now just lurking in this mid lane. Seiken has been very respectful with the Spirit Rush, doesn't want to burn that just for nothing, and has it available. Not going to be easy to try and gank out this mid laner.
I have to be careful if he wants to move towards the bottom half of the map, as Checolad does have that ward there. Charm going wide in the mid side, and something that I've seen in the inventory of Seiken is making me quite happy, Rooted. It's that Dark Seal. Ahri as a champion needs to snowball. There's been a very tall, very handsome guy who's been telling you this on the LEC every other week. Buy the book, get those stacks stacking up, get that bonus AP, the movement speed. You're such a better champion if you go for those early snowball options.
Hold on, you're telling me that champions are better when they have 25 stacks of Emegis?
I wouldn't believe it, but I've been told
Hold
it.
the phone, Middlecott. You're spreading fake news. I know we've talked about some sketchy things here, but I don't think I can accept that.
Dogs see in full color vision, and you've been lied to about them seeing in black and white your entire life.
I didn't know that dogs saw in black and white.
Oh, did you not? Like, I assumed that was a piece of like general knowledge. So what I've just done there is I've told you a lie based on you understanding a truth that you didn't understand.
Yeah. That's unlucky for you. That could have
Yeah.
so easily been very good. Fortunately, I'm uneducated. Not about League of Legends, though. Talk about League of Legends
Talk about League of Legends. We might have to talk about this play in the bot lane. Reckless level 8 on the Twitch is incredibly powerful right now as Inax is not quite able to dash away in time. The follow-up, the damage, moving away from the Witness Bite doesn't matter at all. Camilius rocking the aftershock could stay alive, but a kill on the Twitch this early feels excellent.
Oh, and Inax there, just not quite getting out to safety. There is definitely a way to escape that for Inax if you can use your E. Sort of after the timing of the Cyclone, actually can just hop over the wall and, either force summoner spells or get out to safety easily, but not going to be the case here. It's Game Ward executing easily, or Game Ward getting executed, rather, down in this bot side. Reckless flashes forward, gets those full 6 stacks of poison, and expunges to take down the Zeri. Full Blade of the Ruin King completed for the Twitch means it is very simple, very straightforward for him to try and keep that gap short and easy for the Twitch to close in on.
And the thing about the Twitch pick specifically into this area and the way that this game has been evolving, Pantera and Camilius have been so active on the map. It's not really reflected in terms of their kill participation at this stage, but they have left bot lane the hell alone. And Twitch is one of the few champions that is actually able to play proactively to find those engages in the mid lane. Oh, that's a Shurima shuffle that ain't doing a damn thing, Checo lad.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Seiken has had large control of this mid lane throughout the entire game and is continuing to show quite why. He is certainly one of our top mids. Charm onto Akabane. Has got a W to get out. Doesn't need to use it. Camilius there shows off just enough presence and 3 plates go the way of Carmine Corp on top. Kill onto Checolad. Really snowballing this game now.
And this is kind of what we expected coming into Game 1. Carmine Corp playing aggressively in the early stages, playing around, winning lanes, and picking up stuff like the Drakes, picking up stuff like tower plates, and eventually hold towers to snowball them further into this game. 2,000k gold in the lead right now, and feeling good about the pace of this game, although Akabane may have fought out 1v3 as Camilius is here as well, and actually, it's the Wukong that dives in, because of course he does. It's 1-1-3, the kit going to be traded back, so both junglers only trading those ultimates.
A little Freudian slip there from you, Middlecott. Engaging onto 1v3, potentially the playstyle of 1-1-3 specifically, maybe. It's
maybe,
Seiken, though, that takes the blue buff, and 1-1-3, obviously off of having hopped in. That's not an easy one to get through.
Ooh, nice. You made it work, though. You made it work.
I did, and he gets that blue buff for his mid lane. It's going to be taken away.
Oh.
They did this to Jake and Goldborg yesterday, where we observed Baby Gromp in the picture-in-picture. Just have a little chat.
That's just... Oh, was that it? We just get to look at the frog, like 15 seconds?
Yeah. See how we deal with it. It's a little test.
I want more frog.
More frog?
More. This is the LFL, man. Like, come on.
Anytime Kenches?
Anytime Kenches. Well, 1-1-3 going 1v2 right now, but the rest of Carmine Corp is here to back him up. Camilius with a huge curse to Sabami and the flash get away from the charm. Checolab responding with damage of their own, but it's not going to result in anything more.
My concern with these curses are that Camilius has used 2, and they've gone very well for disengage. It's not Amumu's power point. It's not what he does well. Yes, they're great for it, but... Checo?
Might be looking for an engage. Actually finds it onto Seiken, who's going to be forced to flash away. No Spirit Rush on the Ahri, but doesn't need it, as once again, Game Ward aren't able to find any picks off this kill, as they're 1-1-3. Forced to flashback as the charm connects onto Camilius. And Reckless can open up with the damage. Game Ward looking for plays, but Carmine Corp are the ones who find it.
Oh, Seiken's charms have been so clutch this game. It's netted them 2 kills off the back of situations where they really shouldn't have them. And Reckless now just lurking here. He might find Inax.
Yeah, is able to lay a couple of crossbow bolts into the Zeri. A little bit off our screen towards the top half there. We saw Akabane burn the flash to try and get an aggressive play going. Wasn't able to find it though, and losing that flash is a massive playmaking tool of the Lee Sin, who is already kind of being outpaced.
Asking you shall receive middle cop more frog for you there in the picture-in-picture. My concern for Game Ward this game was always going to be how well this early game jungle support duo would be able to link up. Now, Akabane, yes, has found a kill, but outside of that, it has been very limited in terms of what they can get away with, what they have accomplished as a duo. Akabane and Camellia certainly leaving a lot to be desired now. The Amumu, as far as the late game goes, he still has his ult. It's a pretty much Malphite factor for me, honestly. As long as you find that engage, you find that ulti, I don't care if you die afterwards. It's how well your team can follow up. The issue at the minute is the game was fairly far behind. We're looking at the build paths of our mid laners, and Checo, oh great, he's completed his Andrews. He's, you know, off to the races. Taken, completed his Everfrost, sat on the components of a death cap here already, and 4 stacks of that Dark Seal. He's very far ahead. He's very, very scary. And this Ari has got that damage you've been looking for.
Yeah, it's doing very, very well in this game. As Teleport going to come through from Melonic. Game Ward really want to be picking up this Rift Herald. And with Reckless just a little bit too far away from Carmine Corp, they should be able to do it. Although the fight after could look a little bit dicey. They can't pick up the eyes. Here comes Reckless. Oh my god, the damage is unreal from Carmine Corp. Akabane dashing away, kicking back Seiken, but the Lee Sin's still going to be dropping low. Checkerlad forced to flash over the wall as everyone on Game Ward is flashing away. Carmine Corp could do whatever the hell they want in this game. Inax caught out in his junglers. 1v113 is going to lay some autos into him, and Reckless claims another kill.
This time he's 3v1 and he's able to take the kill back. Checo gets sniped. Cabo Shard finds another. Melonic TP'd into that fight. He had the Meganar bar at the perfect meter, but didn't go for the play. Does manage to find a shutdown off the back end of it though. Takes Seiken out, and those stacks taking a little bit of a dip. But Carmine Corp come out on top. The Rift Herald was secured by Game Ward, but no eye picked up. It's a little bit of gold going in their back pocket for taking down the objective, but nothing more.
So you see how this fight starts off. Once again, Camillus getting charmed in that mid lane, getting chunked down, and Carmine Corp, they're just playing so aggressive. They're going for, which is exactly what this team loves to do.
Yeah, and Twitch with the Blade of the Ruin King finish, you can chase down onto anybody. Akabane living with the Summoner Heal from Inax there, who is trying to dish out damage, but at this early stage of the game, the Zeri simply not a factor that Carmine Corp have to take seriously, dodging out on some important skill shots. Checker with a nicely timed slide and glide there, ultimately to be taken down by a Shock Blast a little later on, and Inax at this point has simply nothing left. Stand behind me from Braum, able to close the gap and shut down the Zeri here. This is Cabo Shard. What a gorgeous snipe. Ooh.
That was very nearly a double snipe there coming through. Akabane,
the one that got away.
Limp out of this play. The one that got away as whilst we were in that replay, Carmine Corp were able to pick up that Cloud Drake. So they're on soul point, and this is so much better from our 3-time E Masters winners in this game too. They're playing with confidence, they're playing with aggression, and they are forcing Game Ward onto the back foot.
They're trying to make a bit of a move into the jungle. Akabane looking for that Gromp. Carmine Corp getting pushed out of their topside jungle a little bit right now. It's not for want of trying. They have got members elsewhere.
Yeah, Zingo's 1-1-3 diving forward into a 1v4 and taken out. Checkerlad going forward himself as Camillus is finding engage onto Hantera, who flashes back to get away. A little bit too hypey there for 1-1-3, and Game Ward are ready to punish.
Yeah, and that's just not needed. Look at the rest of the map. Look at what Carmine Corp are getting away with. Mid turret has just fallen at the hands of Reckless. Bot turret looking to be taken down by the mid as well. Cabo.
Oh, going in for a 1v3 and actually finds a kill. Will drop down in the eventuality, but Seiken getting that inner tower on the other side of the map. Gold funneled into Carmine Corp.
Yeah, this is still really good for Carmine. Yes, they lose the kill onto Cabo, and it is picked up by Melonic, so this now going to have a little bit more agency if they get to a side lane. But that bot lane, they managed to find a turret for Seiken, a turret for Reckless as well in that mid lane. A lot of gold going into the important carries of Carmine Corp. And this is a risk for Game Ward. They expend a lot of resources in that top lane to try and funnel a little bit of gold amongst all of their members. In exchange, they give over Seiken and Reckless a lot of gold individually. This This is a much better trade for Carmine Corp. It puts Seiken on that completed Rabadon's death cap. He picks himself up a blasting one to boot. And not quite completing the Kraken Slayer for Reckless just yet, but once he gets there, this Twitch, oh baby, it's going to be hurting.
And I think the thing that has impressed me most about Carmine Corp in this game is that they've done such a good job at recognizing how Game Ward want to play these fights. They've got the Azir, they've got the Zeri, they've got the Amumi. These are champions that function incredibly well. When you're going for these big 5v5s and that Zeri and the Azir can skirt around the edge and deal with the damage, these fights have been so split up, they've been so chaotic that Game Ward haven't been able to set up. There's been a load of these sort of 2v2s, 3v3s, 1v2s, and Carmine Corp have been finding the plays as Akabane forced to flash away in the mid lane.
Yeah, one more auto there and he does die, right? He may be 600 HP, but that's full stack of poison. That's the expunge that comes through after, and that would have been very close to lethal damage there onto Akabane. And again, another flash used defensively for the Lee Sin. One of some of the spells that you so favorably want to use to try and find that crucial kick onto Reckless. But right now, he's outpacing everybody. He's got so much farm, looking so far ahead of the curve relative to his counterpart as well. Game Ward really struggling here. They're the ones now trying to look for cross-map plays. It's Checo Lad unanswered down in this bot lane. But get Cabo Shard, they're the ones finding objectives in that top side. 2 turrets fallen, 1 mid lane, 1 top lane, and they've slowly but surely taken all of the outer turrets that Game Ward have got.
And it's absolutely night and day for Checo Lad in terms of his performance in Game 1, and now looking over to Game 2, really hasn't made it work so far in this game on the Azir, which is looking absolutely incredible in that Game 1. So credit to Carmine Corp. Their ability to throw off their opponents has been exceptional so far in this game. And in a minute and a bit, they are going to have a Dragon Soul available for them. Cloud Drake, not traditionally one of the ones most favored, but it lets you get a little bit more sneaky with that Twitch moving around. If it lets Seiken chase down some of these targets a bit more efficiently, I think Carmine Corp can find value in it.
I'm going for a second coining here, Middlecott. This is the Rude Dude give soul to flip Elder. This is the strategy of Game Ward that I want to see. Give over this Cloud Soul. You don't want to be fighting for the next 15, 20 minutes if you can help it. You need to get an Elder to get yourself back into this game, and that's something that Game Ward, they may just have to succumb to that eventuality.
Carmine Corp, though, seem perfectly fine for the time being, pushing up this mid lane. Siege isn't great, but when you've got a gold lead and when you're able to pick off a couple of people, then the siege becomes a hell of a lot easier. Melonic now roaming over, but once again, Checolad still in this side lane, desperately trying to get some more gold on this Azir.
Yeah, I mean, he's been put so far down in the dumps that any extra gold that he can get certainly rings true. He's got teleport as well, so if Game Ward decide they want to opt into a fight around it, they can certainly make their moves for it. Putting these soldiers up defensively for Checo means he's got the way out to safety. You can also hop over that wall, but Inax is surely just dead. Oh, okay, not quite.
No
shield opened.
Yeah, that's
quite
big.
Right.
That's a big defensive.
And the Drake's just being taken, by the way. 113 has just taken this. It is going to be a sacrifice from Game Ward. Yes, teleport is available for Checo Lad. It's not going to be used. You know, see 113. He's able to get away with this. Melonic not going to be able to really see or do anything about it. Outsoul picked up for Carmine Corp, and this is very big for them as well. We look at the champions that they've got. Twitch, Ahri, Wukong, all thrive with extra movement speed off their ulti. Twitch able to chase down targets with that Blade of the Ruined King in tandem. This is now even more chase potential that this Twitch has.
And it just sort of enables Reckless to make his own plays as well. A player with obviously such tenure, such experience, and a bit more able to recognize when something's a good idea than some of the players that don't have all of that experience. 113 using the clone to get out of dodge. This is why I'm really liking this pick for 113. It just gives him a little bit more safety. An
important cooldown here. Camillus used Curse of the Sad Mummy. That's another 2 minutes now where Game Ward just don't really have a team fight available to them. Seiken's TP'd very deep, and Carmine Corp are looking for a fight.
Yeah, Game Ward have been absolutely spotted. Melonic still in that mini-nut form. The charm connecting onto Akabane. But KC can't quite follow it up. Still, though, forcing Game Ward out of their topside jungle when Baron is available. No prizes for guessing where Carmine Corp are going to be pressurizing next.
A little bit deja vu, corralling Game Ward and not quite being able to make the most of it. Managed to get away to safety once again, Game Ward here, and it ultimately doesn't come at the cost of too much. Flash from Melonic means that their re-engage potential now a little bit hindered. By and large, they should be feeling pretty good about their ability to take team fights. Camilius' ulti halfway off cooldown as Carmine Corp, they're using 3 people to scout out, whilst the remaining 2, Carmine Corp of 113 and Hantera, just taking this Baron, and access for Game Ward is looking very, very limited.
Very limited indeed, as Camillus is already on 30% HP. Checolad trying to poke over the other side, but Akabane has somehow find a way around this Baron pit, and is going to be flashing in, going for the steal.
Stolen!
Happens! Checolad takes away the Baron.
No way! How did they get away with this? Game Ward had been completely routed. Carmine Corp spent 3 members. Now they've got to try and take a fight.
Here they go. They're looking for the fight with the Cloud Soul on their backs. The chase down potential is unreal. Seiken in the base, but isn't able to find much more damage onto Checolad. He's actually forced to flash away himself. Game Ward may have just found themselves a lifeline in this game.
Yeah, they concede an inhib here. Absolute worst case. They've got the Baron. They've stopped everything that Carmine Corp had been building to. This entire game was built up to take this Baron, but they haven't secured it. 1-1-3 with just too early a smite, and Checolad pokes a stick into the Baron and manages to take it away.
Yeah.
How do Carmine Corp let Akabane get into this? They spot him out on that top side right there. All attention needs to be on this Lee Sin, and they get distracted. Akabane goes forward. He recognizes it's now or never. Flashes in. I don't even know who. I don't even know how.
That's bad.
1-1-3 doesn't. They're on the same frame. It's 9-8-3. 1-1-3 for smites, and it's Azir Prio. The Azir auto attack is just the splittest of seconds later. Manages to find the steal, and the fact that Game Ward have 3 people now alive with this Baron is crucial. It stops any form of siege for Carmine Corp. And Middlecourt, I may have been meaning a little bit, but this is the tried and true strategy for Game Ward right here. Or for me, I suppose. Lose the soul, flip the Elder. It spawns in 2 minutes 30, and I could very well see this game going a different way.
And because of the timing of when that Baron was stolen away, the Baron buff minions are going to be falling off around about a minute before the Drake spawns. That's enough time for you to get these lanes shoved in for you to try and secure some priority. Carmine Corp definitely in the advantage in terms of levels, in terms of itemizations, in terms of raw champion power. But if Game Ward can secure one more steal, then this game, then this series looks a hell of a lot more contestable as Inax forced to flash away. Reckless, relentless with the chase down, but can't quite find the kill.
Immortal Shield, though, is proving to be such a useful tool for Inax here. He's lived twice now from these reckless assassinations that have just barely gone by the wayside. You're so right, though, Middlecourt. Every valuable stat is in favor of Carmine Corp. The fact that that Baron went to Game Ward merely meant that their game did not end off the back of that. Instead, Game Ward, they're getting a little bit too dicey, a little bit close here with their engagements. Is that Game Ward had an extra life. They pushed back that deadline that Carmine Corp have for them. But Checolad just finished that just finished that Rabadon, so he could be
Goes
caught.
golden, but 1-1-3 can't quite find it with the Cyclone. He's going to be kicked back and taken out.
Wow.
First kill of the fight in favor of Game Ward.
30 seconds between the respawn and the Elder. This is not the worst thing for Carmine Corp, but once again, it's just that little slip. It's the hints, the ramifications of this aren't going to be huge. We're starting to see these slight issues seeping into the Game Ward plan. That's the second little thing that's gone wrong, and all of these mistakes don't necessarily mean that they're too hard done by. This is a proper Jaws. This is a proper Jaws situation.
If you can find a pick here, it's huge.
Get
Opening
it.
up onto Inax. Akabane is here as well, but the damage to the Twitch, honestly disgusting. Flashes over the wall, secures the sun, secures the killing spree, and Carmine Corp may have just won this game. Already 2 kills for them as Camillus is caught out on the front side of the fight. There's so much damage from Checolad though. The Azir online as hell. The fight in favor of Carmine Corp, but they can't end off this.
No, this is going to be the Elder, though. Look at the timings. 5 seconds on that spawn, and they've still got Reckless. Still got Camo!
Going golden, and Checolad low as well. Slammed into the wall by Melonic, but he's chased under the tower.
Checo's alive!
For Checolad, though, but he's getting turned into a corpse. Carmine Corp with a delayed ace. Head towards the Elder.
deserved, needed fight for Carmine Corp right there. 113 sacrifices his life to take down the two members that would have caused chaos for this Elder. They're going to secure this now with no contest. They have more than enough damage, more than enough DPS to take down this Elder. Akabane and Inax may sprint towards this, but it is going to be futile efforts.
The true damage coming out from Reckless was already absolutely obscene. The true damage coming out of this switch with the Elder buff is going to be ridiculous. Waiting for second, I absolutely love this. Get that extra burn on the Ari when she can flash for, but Akabane may look for a play, but once again, burning the flash and finds nothing.
Let's take a minute, Middlecott. A lot of things have just happened. A lot of issues that Carmine Corp ran into, but overall, they really don't matter. The Elder is now in their back pocket. The Baron spawning in a minute's time. They will be able to leverage one cooldown for the other, and that's if they even need it. With Reckless having this Elder Drake in his back pocket, he can kill anyone. Look at, I mean, this is right. This is how you play Twitch when you're ahead. You simply stealth and you walk up mid lane. The second you don't see Twitch on the map is the second game ward. Have to respect all three lanes. Anybody is a target for this Twitch. He's even levels with the game ward top laner and 3 levels up over his enemy AD carry. Inax still not at that Infinity Edge marker. Still searching desperately for any scraps of gold that he can claim. Melonic forced to hop away. Saken still going forward. This Elder means that you can cheat anything you want. These turrets mean very little, and they may well just have to give up this turret.
Yeah, you absolutely just force this game ward. Making the correct decision to back away. They can't compete with the fight power that Carmine Corp have right now, and are going to have for just over a minute. Rotating now towards this mid lane. Try and take down that inhib tower. Try and take down that inhib. Maybe you can look for an end, or maybe you back away, you take your victory, and you go and claim a few more resources, a few more advantages before you go for the enemy nexus.
And Game Ward know as well. They know that without Infinity Edge on Inax, there is simply no chance that they win a team fight. Checolad has been trying so hard through these team fights to do the damage necessary, but just doesn't quite have enough, and Reckless has enough damage to do all of the damage for Carmine Corp if they need it. The fact that they've got Saken, 113 and Cabo Shard all in their back pockets really means that Carmine Corp are in such a good spot.
Hold me, rude dude. That's an Infinity Edge.
Elder.
That's an Infinity Edge now on Reckless.
Oh dear. Yeah, you know, I don't think even holding you is going to stop you, Middlecott. Honestly, no, this is too much.
That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. The Elder is going to be timing off relatively soon, but it may not even matter, honestly. The damage that this Twitch can put out at this stage into the game is ridiculous. Double the completed items of Inax's Flame Horizon, the Game Ward AD carry as well. Carmine Corp are so efficient at putting resources into Reckless in these later stages of the game, and when you are putting those resources into a Twitch, it is time, it is money, very well spent.
Okay, Elder Drake has warned off right now. Baron still for 2 minutes. Game will go.
That's huge! A 3-man engages. Checolad just biding his time before he goes in. But already, Reckless dealing the damage. A double kill for Cabo Shard as the engage is way too late from Checolad. A 5-man Shurima shuffle into your grave. Unstoppable on this Twitch as Inax is forced to retreat to the safety of the fountain. But there will be no such safety for the Nexus of Game Ward. Carmine Corp strike back and take us to 1-1.
That's what we were hoping for. This series is going to deliver. Both of these teams have got so much strength to show, and Carmine Corp, despite their slip up in game number 1 already,